right, everybody, and welcome back to a live Q&A here that we do once a week or so on Mondays, and I take your questions and answer them live. I hope you all are doing a fantastic. Today, this is a good week. Today is Labor Day, so a lot of people aren't working today. In fact, we're taking a half day here at the Dice Tower. So when this Q&A is over, I'm out of here. But that's also because today is my daughter's birthday. Violet, who you've seen in many of my videos, is 15 today. So in a year, she can drive a car. Maybe. Are you worried about that? That's Ruby off camera. And on Thursday of this week, is it Thursday? It is Thursday. Thursday is my birthday. So I'm turning 46. And then next week is my birthday present with Dice Tower Retreat. So also Kringles and key lime pies or whatever else. Alrighty. So yeah, we're going out to eat after I'm done here. We always go out to eat at the choice of a restaurant. I just picked an Italian restaurant we're going to. I will pick, of course, a seafood restaurant because that's what I always pick. Don't I? Anyhow, so I'm answering questions in here, and I'll go through them. And here we go. Let's see. When do we get the full details on the Dice Tower at Essen? I think, unfortunately, you'll have to wait till after. You have to wait till after the retreat before I give out any kind of full schedule. But I can tell you this: on Friday, the Dice Tower will be doing a live show at Essen. I've talked to the folks there; they're going to let us do that, so that's exciting. So hopefully you'll be able to come down. We'll give details on how to get that stuff from us. It's free and everything, but we'll talk more about that. Then I'm going for sure. I know that Zee and Kenny, Camilla and Chris and Mike are going. And there may be other folks there beyond that, but not sure 100%. So we're still working on all the details for that, and then other people from the Dice Tower. So I'll give out more information as we get closer. Will we have special events like playing games with the staff like 2019? Probably not. We did that in 2019 because I accidentally got an extra booth and we needed to use that booth for things. This time we're going to kind of be at our own booth running that one. Can I please elaborate on why I think Florida is better than Germany? Well, I would. I say Florida is better than Germany because I live in Florida, right? I love Florida. We have better weather. How's that? But the fact is, I said if I lived in Germany, I'd probably say Germany's better than Florida. I don't want to, I'm a grass is greener where you at kind of guy. That's what I think. Let's see here. Yes, Chrissy, I know that there's no Kringle at the retreat, but you were at East, so I had one there. I just saw that you weren't coming today, and I am saddened. Email me about that, actually. I need to tell you something. Okay, did I have any exciting game experiences over the weekend? Well, yeah, we played games here at the Dice Tower Studios. In fact, I played Ready, Set, Bet again. I'm really loving that game. It's so much fun. I played a lot of Asking for Troubles over the weekend, and you'll see a review of me, Ruby, and Violet of that tomorrow. Let's see here. Do I subscribe to any Discord channels? Well, that's a very interesting question since I just installed Discord on my computer today because I'm joining a Discord group. It doesn't actually affect anyone watching, so don't worry about it. But and I realized I've used Discord twice in my life before. I used it during the Board Game Geek virtual con that we did with them, and I used it once when I did something with Shut Up and Sit Down. And that's it. But will there be a Dice Tower Discord started? Huh. Interesting question. My top 5 favorite seafood dishes? Okay, I'll do this instead of the book. Okay, because this is easy. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go forward from 1 downward. But the number 1 seafood dish that exists in the world is sold at Fish House in Key Largo, and it is seafood prosciutto, which is seafood wrapped in whatever it's called. It's unbelievably good. Number 2 is also from the Fish House, and that is their key lime shrimp and scallops on top of a bed of noodles. It is, or is it on rice? No, it's on rice. Sorry, it's on rice. It's crazy good. Third, also from the fish house, is their buffalo shrimp. Now, buffalo shrimp is not particularly, unique to them, but they make it fantastic. Okay, fourth, we're going to move across the street to the Lazy Lobster. And the Lazy Lobster's lobster of the devil, the Diablo, is amazing. And then fifth, right behind that, is the conch. No, it's not conch. It's gator's not seafood technically, but they have something else. They're lazy seasoning. Now, six, we're gonna move over to the Hobo restaurant. They make the huh? I said top 5. I can do what I want. Six is. Are you tired of hearing me talk about seafood? 6 is I had this amazing crab Caesar salad. 7 is a lobster Reuben, which is just fantastic. 8 is lobster fried teppanyaki style. 9 is shrimp teppanyaki style. And 10 is scallops teppanyaki style. And you know what? I'll eat any of that anytime. There's so much other good stuff out there too. I love seafood. Seafood. Hi, Tom. I've been watching the channel for a while, and I can't remember how you met Zee and how you started reviewing games with him. I'm being held hostage. No, actually, Zee was one of the people who responded to me when I first came to America. I went to Board Game Geek and looked up all the people living in this area and emailed them, and he said, oh, yeah, there's a gaming scene, something like that. And I met him at the game store, and we played, and it was fun. I like playing games with him. So eventually I invited him over to my house to play games a few times, and I found out he was in theater, thought it'd be funny if he was in a few of my videos. And then he just kept joining, and I asked him to do a game show with me, and then we did a gaming with potpourri with Tom and Zee. And then he started doing the top 10s with me, and we just kind of snowballed from there. Let's see here. What are you looking forward to at the World Series of Board Games? Well, anyone who's there, I'd love to meet you. I'm there I'm going to do 2 things while I'm there. Oh, well, 3. I'm going to maybe see and eat some food in Vegas. Come on now. I mean, let's not be stupid. I want to do that. I'm at the World Series of Board Games. I'm announcing some of their games. I know I'm announcing the finale, and I'm announcing another game, and whatever else they need me to do. And I'm also going to be in the open game area. I have a game of Cosmic Encounter scheduled, but other than that, if you see me there and you want to play a game, ask me. It's a good chance to play a game with me, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. And also, I'll be recording stuff and showing off what the thing looks like, so you'll be able to see it, so you know what it's like for next year. Will I do a ranking on Chronicles of Crime? Sure. I mean, for me, Chronicles of Crime 2040 is my favorite. Chronicles of Crime Noir is number 2. Number 3 is Base Chronicles of Crime. Number 4 is 1400, I think. Then 5 would be 1800, and 6 would be Archie, whatever that one was called. But the second expansion for it. But I like them all. But that would be my rating of them. What am I most looking forward to when visiting Germany again? I'm not going to get to see a lot of Germany when I'm there. So, I mean, I could say the food, obviously, and the people. But that's what it is, right? It's meeting all the international people that's the only place I see them is at Essen. How do you feel about us skipping ads? I just got a 60-second ad followed by a 3-minute ad. I don't want to miss that much of the stream. Skip them. Look, I mean, it gives us a couple pennies if you don't skip them, but don't feel bad about it. What food are you most looking forward to in Germany? Why is it the doner kebabs? I really do like those doner kebabs a lot, and I will definitely eat at least 2 or 3 of them when there. But what food am I looking to the most? Probably the sandwiches. Could I briefly rank all 50 states? No. Me and my wife have been to, we were just counting, like we haven't even been to all the states. So Of all the states I've ever been in, though, I'm not kidding, Florida is my favorite. But I also have a soft spot, obviously, for Pennsylvania, which is where I grew up. So Florida 1, Pennsylvania 2. All the rest are tied. No, not Nebraska. Nebraska is just 2. And no, not Iowa. I can't put Iowa on the top. Standard interview question. 3 words your coworkers would use to describe you. Annoying, loud, and pathetic. What are your favorite campaign board games to introduce to new players, kids? I do not use campaign games to new players. Who from the Dice Tower is playing in a World Series of board games? I don't think anyone from the Dice Tower is. Are you going to play a game with Dan Hughes at the Dice Tower Retreat? Only if he's in disguise and I don't recognize him. My favorite Magic the Gathering color is green. Prosciutto wrapped shrimp. What did I say? Sorry, that is what I meant. My favorite Magic the Gathering color is green. Do you do big, exciting work parties for holidays like today? Well, sometimes, but not today. We're doing a party for the Dice Tower at the end of the week to celebrate multiple birthdays. My birthday's in September, Zee's birthday's in September, and I've missed like 2 birthdays, so we need to catch up. Seems like the newest thing YouTube is really promoting is YouTube Shorts, less than 1 minute videos that compete with TikTok. Are you planning on doing videos in that format? Maybe. I'm thinking about it. I really despise that format myself, but maybe. Christy says, not the biggest fan of shrimp. Sea bugs, I'm A-okay with everyone who doesn't like shrimp because that means there's more for me. Top 10 games you can only play at Dice Tower Retreat. I actually have a list in the book that says that. Have I played Age of Atlantis yet? That Last Chance El Dorado game. I have not, so we'll see. My favorite bug, that's easy, ladybug. I don't know why. Ladybugs don't bother me at all, right? Like if a ladybug lands in your hand, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. Like if a wasp lands in your hand, you're like, nah. A Japanese beetle, you're like, oh. A cockroach, you're like, kill me. Ants are fine. Ants are fine, but ants don't bother me. But ladybugs, like if there's an ant crawling on me, I'm like, ah. But if you see a ladybug, you're like, cool. Do you remember when I bought 1,000 ladybugs?
Just about to mention that. They were gone the next day.
Well, you know what? It was still fun. I'm going to do it again. I keep forgetting to. All right, let's see here. Is Catchapoosa gone or just on hold for a moment? It's just on hold. We'll do more as time goes by. If you suddenly couldn't rate games from 1 to 10, what new scale would you use? I'd use 2 to 10. The best, worst part-time job you've had to do. My favorite part-time job... Trying to think, because I'm trying to differentiate between part-times. But my favorite part-time job, I worked one semester in between college. I worked at some office building, and I delivered the mail. And that was so much fun. I just took the mail cart around and gave everybody mail all over the place. I really, really liked doing that. It was just fantastic. You got to talk to everyone and give them mail. I don't know. There was something very enjoyable about that. I've had a lot of jobs in my life. Also, I guess working at the mall. I worked at Taco Bell in a mall food court, and I loved every moment of that. I loved selling. I loved meeting all the people in the mall. The same people would come by who were always there. The mall atmosphere was exciting. People asking me how they could pack tacos so they could sneak them in the movie theater. Yeah, I really liked working at that place. My worst part-time job, I think, was probably back when my dad used to clean banks and had me help him clean banks. And it seemed exciting, but it wasn't. Cleaning is not particularly fun, but you go and you clean the whole thing. Yeah, I used to sit there and think how I would rob the bank if I could. Not as I was planning to rob a bank, but it was just an exercise of my mind, and came to the conclusion banks would be very difficult to rob. I'm kidding for any police officers who might be trying to arrest me now. Is there a new game you're looking forward to trying to retreat with attendees? Oh, I plan to play Ready, Set, Bet with as many people as I can. I saw the top 10 long games you did with Zee and Mike, and given the game has cooled on you, would you still recommend anyone to play Seventh Continent? Oh, yeah, because it's an amazing experience. It's a lot of fun. Does Adventure Tactics work well for adults? Yes, it really does. Do you like bongo drums? Yeah, sure, why not? Have you ever given a game a lower score because you were just so bad at it? I don't think so. I mean, some of my favorite games I've never won. Ooh, how is the new studio going? Really well, actually. So the new wall has been built in there. So the next step is getting it painted. I had a painter come in on Friday and look it over. He should be getting back to me maybe today or tomorrow. Later on today, I'm going to go look at carpeting. So we're going to paint it and carpet it. At that point, we start setting it up. We start building it. That's going to take a while, but we have to get lights and everything. Once that's set up, at that point, I'm going to find someone who really knows what they're doing with audio and bring them in to set up the audio in both studios. Let's see here. Mosquito is the worst bug, at least top 5. I agree. Mosquitoes are pretty bad. They're definitely in the top 5. When you say bug, I'm assuming you mean insect, because if you don't mean insect, I'm sorry, scorpion and spiders are worse bugs. You know, if you're including them in the thing bug. Anything with any of the arachnid family, they're all horrible. Centipedes, awful. Millipedes, horrific. Spiders, terrible. Scorpions should all die. I hate all arachnids. And every time someone goes, but spiders kill bugs, but you're still left with the spider.
And the webs.
And the webs. Thank you. Yeah, mosquitoes are terrible. Tom swats butterflies. Oh, that's true. I still think I like ladybugs better than butterflies.
If you've actually seen a butterfly up close, they're pretty scary.
Yeah, they're not that. I mean, I've been in one of those places where the butterflies land all over you. That's kind of cool, I suppose. I'm a pretty experienced Magic the Gathering player. Will Dice Throne scratch that same itch for me? I don't think so. I don't think they're the same at all. When will Shoots and Marbles be back? I got a date in my head, but I'm not announcing it until I'm sure I can get to that date. How many languages can you speak fluently? 0. So how would you have robbed the bank if you had done it? Well, I mean, I would not have. I would not have. I just was thinking, okay, if you came in here. But I mean, every time I'm thinking, wow, it was very well put together, the banks. I was pretty impressed.
You speak one language, right?
Yeah, but I said fluently.
Oh.
Thank you, Mike, for saying the nice thing about reviews. It's nice to see folks who don't normally review games with each other do so. Yeah, that has been very fun for us. What was my favorite food when I was in Korea? Budae-jjigae. I love the new review format and getting so many diverse viewpoints every game. What was the thought process that led to the new format? It just came to me one day. I was thinking about it, and I know people really like the 4 squares, and I was like, why do we not do that more often? Why aren't we bouncing off each other? So that's what I did. Did Joe Stedman ever get me to play ASL? No, he did not. What's the highest payout you've ever seen in a game of Wits and Wagers? It was at a convention one time. I don't remember what it was, but somebody knew exactly how many #1 hits Michael Jackson had. And so they knew it for sure. Their team bet all their money on it, and they did really well. Let's see here. Again, I'm looking for, I don't answer every question. I guess I should make that for sure. So some questions I just don't answer for whatever. Do I have a favorite heist movie? I think it's Ocean's 11. Ocean's 13 or Ocean's 11. Those are my favorite heist movies still. What does the chief think of spiders and arachnids? He absolutely abhors them, same as me. But I mean, part of this was, so there's this alien race called the... well, that's an English accent. Hang on. Well, whatever. They exist in universe 6524. Yeah, 6524. Anyhow, they look just like spiders. They really do. And but they're like spiders. I think they have 9 legs there because they're a whole base numerical system of that universe is 9. And they're the dominant species there. And so we fought them for many years. And it was, I mean, oh man, I lost several friends to that war. But we did manage to beat them back. But me and the chief still have a hatred of spiders to this day from that war. Do you know when you might finalize the library this week? I think we'll be done by Thursday. That's when every game has to be in. It's looking pretty good. I was talking to Wendy about it. We just got a couple new games today. They're going in the library. How about top 10 games that would be worth getting if they were at a discount? That would be my top 10 games. Some things are kind of just the way they are, right? Like, hey, if you can get them, there you go. Will you still wear white for the rest of the year? I don't understand that question. Am I getting married? Is there something about wearing white? Is it don't wear white until a certain month? I've never followed that. If you notice, though, I don't know if you have noticed. I don't know that on my channel have I ever worn a white shirt. I might have. I don't even think I have a white shirt. I don't like white shirts. They don't look good on camera. You'll notice that even... They get dirty easily, but you know the whole thing with white shirts is they don't look good on camera at all. If you look at leaders and politicians, they'll often wear light blue rather than just straight white. So I don't even have a white shirt. If I'm going to dress up for an occasion, I'll wear a blue shirt. Yes, white probably looks better with a suit coat. Also, if you've noticed, I never cared about that. What are your initial thoughts on She-Hulk? I'm going to wait till the whole thing's done before I give my thoughts on She-Hulk. We'll see. What's my favorite year or decade of comic books? Probably decade would be the aughts, probably. Year, I don't know. When did Civil War come out? Favorite X-Men story would be... yeah, that's those put all those people in them, the pirates and stuff. My favorite X-Men story is, I don't know why it's slipping my mind what it, oh, Age of Apocalypse. Age of Apocalypse. Let's see here. I'm currently moving. I'm packing my board games in small 12 by 12 by 16 moving boxes based on your previous suggestions. That's true, because if you put them in bigger boxes, they're just too heavy. Do you have any other suggestions for games slightly larger than Ticket to Ride? Yeah, if your games are slightly larger than Ticket to Ride, and I just realized did I ever... Oh, I did. Okay, never mind. If the larger ones, then I put them in a medium box. But don't pack that medium box too full. I also put clothes and stuff in that box, or a blanket or something, or a soft pillow, so to even things out. Have you read the Mother of Learning series? I've never heard of it. Email me and I'll check it out. Do you think you may eventually post a copy of the library to BGG since it's not possible to browse the collection on tabletop events? It's possible to browse the collection there. It's not as easy as I guess it would be at Board Game Geek. Moving it seems like it'd be a lot of pain. It seems like it would require someone to sit and spend hours and hours and hours copying over the collection. You don't have a white undershirt. Huh. Well, let's find out. No! I know what this one says. I actually do have some white undershirts, but I almost never wear them. I wear them when it matters, like if I'm wearing a very light colored shirt and I don't want the words to come through. But I almost always wear the color t-shirts. Otherwise, I'd never wear them. People are always offering me free t-shirts, and I don't hardly ever wear just a t-shirt. What do you think about adding an entry to Dice Tower badges which shows I am a Eurogamer, I am a new gamer, I am a co-op gamer, so people can see your badge and know what games you like? Nah. I mean, you can do that if you want to, but I don't like putting people in boxes. What is the best convention in Europe? I've only been to 2. Well, 3. I've been to Midgard in Iceland. I've been to Essen. And I've been to the UK Games Expo. That's it. So I could not give you a good answer to that. Chris says, Tom, you wore a white shirt during the 12 games of Christmas. Well, I guess I did. I don't remember, but sure. That color blue is very flattering on you. Well, thank you. What are your favorite colors to wear? Bright. And let's see here. Civil War was 2006. Well, there you go then. Are you watching the new Lord of the Rings of Power series on Amazon? I am. I saw that you fell asleep during 90%, and I fell asleep during the second episode, but that was because I was really tired. I went back and watched it. Let's see here. I'm sadly disappointed there isn't a costume underneath. Yeah, no. Am I looking forward to the new Willow spin-off series coming to Disney? Maybe. I'm going to have to go back and watch Willow again. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Pick 3 members of the X-Men team to help you rob your childhood bank. All right, Iceman, Professor X. I mean, if I have Professor X, they can't stop us, right? No, I don't know. Professor X is kind of a pain in the neck. I don't know why I want to deal with him. So Jean Grey, she's kind of a pain in the neck too, but Jean Grey, Iceman, and I need someone strong, probably, so Colossus. I think like Colossus would like refuse to do it though, on matter of principle. Let's see here. Can you recommend solo games with very quick setup for library evenings? Yeah, I think playing solo games with very quick setup is a good thing to do for a solo evening. So yes, recommend it for me. Have you ever thought about getting an endorsement with a hat company? I doubt it. Tom, are you familiar with the Magic the Gathering Jumpstart packs? I am. They're sitting somewhere in this room. We bought them. We were going to play them live on air, and we just haven't had a chance to do it yet. Let's see here. Ever go easy on someone in a game so they'll stay in a good mood and play more? Yes, but I found that if I have to do that with somebody, then the problem is them. If I have to go easy on you so that you don't get mad at me, that's kind of a you thing, right? There might be a way to browse the tabletop, to import the tabletop events list to Board Game Geek, but I don't know what it is at this moment. Is it okay to draw our own dice, people? Well, I can't stop you. But do you do what you want, right? I can't stop you. Now, if you were selling them or something, I might argue that it looks a lot like our style, but I am looking forward to this retreat next week. I'm very excited about this. And I folks, I don't talk about the retreat too much because I don't want people who aren't going to feel terrible about not going, but you should. because it's going to be so good. We're playing games for a week, and it's just going to be fantastic, and I look forward to it so very much. Oh, Nightcrawler. Yeah, good point. Colossus is out, Nightcrawler's in. Nightcrawler, Iceman, and Jean Grey. Blink would be helpful, too. Yeah. Yeah.
Where's the books?
It's right there. Gambit. Gambit might rob me, though. Okay, so now I'm up Nightcrawler. Honestly, if I have Jean Grey, I don't need anyone else. Jean Grey can just tell them to give me all the money and then tell them that they wanted to give me all the money. What are they going to do? Any chance of a Western Legends playthrough, but with you, Zee, and Mike? Probably not. And people always ask, hey, can you play this game with this combination of players? It's probably not going to happen. We only have so much time. A playthrough requires a great expenditure of resources for us to do on air. You might see these things happen, but to see your dream team play your dream game may not happen. I still have not seen Top Gun Maverick, so... And also, for the life of me, I can't remember half of what happened in Top Gun. Did you ever read the New Mutants, or were you only an X-Men reader? I read the New Mutants a bit, but I never really liked them. They all felt kind of like annoying teenagers, which I know they were, but I don't really want to read about annoying teenagers. I deal with that in my own house every day. Ring of Power, House of Dragon, and Star Wars Andor will all be out at the same time. Is Star Wars Andor out now? Because the other two are already out. What series am I most excited about? Probably Rings of Power, I would assume. That was the one I was most excited about. Is there more recent top 10 co-op games? I know you do a yearly top 10 co-op games, but the most recent is from 2016. Is it really? Huh. How do you find new books to read? Usually from y'all tell me, hey, you should read this book. And then you tell me, and I'm like, hey, I should read that book. So then I do it. Do I listen to any podcasts? I do listen to various podcasts. I listen to some Christian podcasts. I listen to board game podcasts, and I listen to Marvel podcasts. Although I haven't found a Marvel podcast that I really like yet. Is there a musical artist you like that you learned about from another Dice Tower member? That I like? Maybe, I don't know off the top of my head. Ooh, am I caught up on questions? There's fewer people watching today. We're already halfway through today, which is exciting. I saw that you hated Escape the Dark Castle. Can I please buy your copy if you still have it? So, yes, I did hate it. No, you can't have my copy. People ask us all the time, and it's just so much work for us to send games out to people. Not to mention, we don't have Escape the Dark Castle. We get rid of everything. You want to get one of my games? The easiest way to do that is come to Dice Tower East. Then come to the Dice Tower East Tom Vasel flea market, where we had a lot of games for a very inexpensive price. Have you read Deeds of from Elizabeth Moon? No, I have not. Do you like the space opera genre? I do, especially if it's cool and grandiose. Like the Honor Harrington system went a little off the rails at the end, but I really like that it's big and grandiose. Is there a special Labor Day contest today? That's a good question. Let's look it up. Is there a contest? Goes on the table out there. Let's figure out if there's a contest today. Is there a contest today? A contest today. Today's contest. Today is 9/5. Yes. There's a contest for a $10 gift certificate from Game Nerdz. Game Nerdz is a fantastic place to buy games online. Amazing selection. Let's go there right now and see what they got, and I'll tell you some good games to get from Game Nerdz. All right, so Game Nerdz, they are having some slight delays right now because they're moving warehouses. I saw their old warehouse, which seemed pretty big, so to have a new one seems pretty impressive. So new releases here. We'll sort by recently added. Okay, so new releases. The Dominion Seaside expansion. Oh, that's good. I played that. I don't think I reviewed that yet. Let's see. There's Betrayal House and Hill 3rd Edition. I'm not a fan of that, but you might be. Elector Counts. Don't get that. That's trash. Pictures Orange expansion. That's interesting. What does it do? Add an orange peel? I'm curious what that means, orange expansion. No? It's curious. Let's see what else they got. Ooh, Ascension Year 6 Collector's Edition. And Ubongo Jr. That's a good thing to check out. Ooh, a D&D Dungeon Miniatures Swamp Gas Balloon. Ooh, I want that for to put on a shelf. That looks cool. The Plan from R&R Games. Panzer, if you like war games. And then a bunch of Song and Ice and Fire miniatures. Anyway, you can win a $10 gift certificate for this if you email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word toil, as in the word that, if you say it, you can add trouble and something. I don't know. The witches toil, and trouble? I don't actually know how the phrase went now. But anywho, there you go. You can win a $10 gift certificate. I hope you win. Alrighty, let's see here. Any new Legacy games coming out before Christmas? Well, I mean, the Risk Legacy just came out, and the Jurassic one's being released right now, so you got those two. What's your favorite prank call name? Bart said to Moe in The Simpsons. I don't know. I said that was a dumb part of the show. My favorite non-Marvel / DC characters? Probably Mike DeLisio. Do you keep and store everything or a throw away everything person? I definitely lean towards a throw away everything person. Is Shawshank Redemption one of the greatest movies of all time? Yes. I think it's time for a special Labor Day top 10 from the book. No, because I did the seafood one already. How can I cull down my collection without suffering an emotional roller coaster? You need to start doing it if you want to get rid of games. Just do it. Who cares? Get rid of a game. What does it matter? You weren't going to play that game anyway. That's usually the way to start. Now that John Williams retired. Did John Williams retire? Did it just happen? Oh, he retired in he retired from scoring films. Oh, this was June 24th. So he announced he'll be retiring from scoring films after completing his work on Indiana Jones 5. He's 90 years old. Whew. So, I can't do my favorite movie score because I haven't heard the score for Indiana Jones 5. Maybe it will be his best work ever. And I don't say that ironically because it might be. What games have you backed that have never delivered? I think there's a few, but I'm not actually sure. I'd have to go back and look. Do you have any favorite lawn games? That's a good question. I haven't played lawn games in a while. Frisbee, I guess. I haven't seen a Dice Tower fan review on my YouTube feed since the format change. Have I just been missing them, or are they being published as general Dice Tower Studios videos? Didn't me and Ruby do one the other week? Well, they're all underneath the same thing now. But I think Ruby and I just did one together. And I think all three of us did one together. But I don't remember what they were. But we just recorded one. It's going up tomorrow. The Witches of Eastwick soundtrack. I'm sure I've heard it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. You mentioned Dice Tower is buying new cameras for the studio. What features, capabilities are you looking to improve over the current equipment? I don't know, actually. Buying cameras for the Dice Tower is one of the hardest things we do because there's nobody to talk to about it. Everyone has their own opinions on this camera, that camera, but most people aren't doing what we're doing, which is streaming things live. I've noticed a lot of people talking about the fatigue of Kickstarters doing pre-launch ads and a long wait for Kickstarters. Do you think companies will have to change how they do Kickstarters? Yes, I think it's going to change, but I don't know how. It's double toil and trouble. I don't know why it was doing toil twice, but maybe it's because I thought it was doubled. What dates are the Autumn Spectacular? Well, it is 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today, whatever that is. Are there any games you know of that have a dual-layer main board as well as individual player boards? Yes, but I don't know off the top of my head what there are. But there's definitely several of those. The real question is Shawshank, Forrest Gump, or Pulp Fiction? They all came out the same year. Well, Tarantino, his movies tend to be more depressing than not, so I'm not that excited about Pulp Fiction. Also, it's just not my style of movie. Forrest Gump I like a lot. I really like Forrest Gump, and the ending always makes me very sad. But I think Shawshank is I just like it. It's just an uplifting movie. Shawshank and Forrest Gump, though, are both movies I like a lot. Let's see here. Do I think the Jurassic Legacy game would play better with 2 players? I don't know. I haven't played it, so I do not know. What book am I currently reading? I'm doing one of my in-between breaks. I just finished something new. I don't remember what it was. What was I reading? I guess I can look in here and see what it was. I went through a bunch of books and I stopped reading a few. I was reading... Oh, I'm not going to say what I was reading. I read a couple romance novels that were free on Kindle Unlimited, where I read parts of them. I was not particularly thrilled by them. I read this book called The Mysterious Island. That was pretty good. Book 1 and then book 2. There isn't one yet, so it wasn't terrible. So right now I'm reading through the Magicians series. So it's kind of a palate cleanser of sorts. I've already read it before. Do you think Indiana Jones will have a whip holster on his walker in a new movie? I don't know. I don't know what they're planning to do. Like, is his son coming back, or are they just going to pretend that part never happened? I don't know. Oh, I like badminton, too. Badminton's pretty fun. Like, I don't play it like the pros do. You know, badminton, you're like, hitting the ball back and forth. Those pros hit it so fast. If you've never watched professional badminton, it's crazy. It's like a different sport. What smaller cons have you gone to the past that I've really enjoyed? I really like going to smaller cons. I've been to a lot, so I'm hesitant to say names because I'm going to forget some. But, I mean, I went to, the first one was up in Connecticut. Why can't I remember that name of that con now? Total Con. Total Con was fun. It kind of gave me the idea of what a small con should look like. I went to a small one up in Canada, which I also can't remember, but that wasn't that small, I suppose. We went to one at Portal Con. That was fun. I went to small conventions here, the Gathering of Friends. I really like small conventions, actually, because they're very intimate and fun. If you had to win one game against one member of the Dice Tower, which game and member do you think you'd have the best chance of winning? If I had to win one game, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a funny answer, and I can't think of one. My wife and I are starting the adoption process. Any advice for a first-time dad? You'll figure it out, honestly. I'm always hesitant to give people advice. In fact, I've given advice before, and people are like, don't be giving parenting advice in your Q&A. I'm like, oh, sorry. Cherish the moment. It's going to be a good ride. And everything gets better after potty training. That's definitely the truth of it. Schedules. Schedules are fantastic. Kids like schedules, even if they say they don't. I don't have a favorite dad joke. I repeat them occasionally just to irritate my kids, and that's it. I think dad jokes are dumb other than that. But I like bugging my kids with them. John Williams is the greatest composer of our time. Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and his Western scores are legendary. Superman's score elevated an iffy movie to very memorable. Well, I'll say the same thing that always gets people to yell at me, Nathan. I'll say John Williams is the greatest composer of any time. I've never understood why there's this, like, you have to be born in the 16th, 17th, or 18th century for to be considered one of the greatest of all time. John Williams, who's 90 years old, is amazing. I would put up his scores to Star Wars, to Indiana Jones, to these against anything Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, any of the other people did. Me saying he's the best doesn't actually say that those other people are terrible. But I think he's fantastic. Just like everybody knows Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, everybody knows the opening notes of Star Wars, but everyone also knows the opening notes of like 10 of his other movies. And he can take a new movie and just the Schindler's List, Chilling. He is more diverse than any of those old composers ever were. And he built upon them. Yes, I know they were groundbreaking, and they had more restrictions and limitations on them. But I still think he's fantastic. And just because his music is put in the background of movies doesn't make it any less amazing. And he took things like Star Wars and changed and added dual fates to it, which was mind-blowing. And Harry Potter, which could have just been another rehash of his themes, he managed to make a movie soundtrack magical. He managed to take flying and make it cool in Superman. Indiana Jones' Adventure. I will never apologize for this. I will go to my deathbed believing John Williams is the greatest musical composer, classical music composer in history, period. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. I don't care. But people always act like I'm a moron when I say that. I don't care. I do not care. I think it's true, and I think he should be applauded, and he's amazing and fantastic. There's a content producer convention in California. I don't know what that is. Todd, if you could email me at tom@dicetower.com and tell me more about it. I would love to hear more about it. Ooh, Tom, do you think it's important that board games and board game groups remain immune from politics? That's always kind of a tricky question, right? Because, people are always wanting me to jump into politics. In fact, if I don't jump into politics, then I'm definitely on the other side. And I don't talk about politics here a lot on the Dice Tower channel. Sometimes I talk about things that people say are politics. But people try to pigeonhole me, and most people don't actually even know what I think about certain political issues. Mostly because I don't share them on here, because this is a board game channel. Now, to be fair, here in the Q&A, I share a lot of things that are not board games. But I don't share political stuff oftentimes because of how divisive it is. And there's no doubt in the past decade, politics have gotten very divisive, where I've seen people say, if you don't agree with me, I don't want anything to do with you. And I've seen people say very rude and negative things about things that I believe in. I might believe something, I'll see someone online going, anyone who believes this should die. Oh, okay. Well, that definitely discourages me from ever talking to you about it. Now, I have found that in person, most people are fairly easy to have a conversation with and talk to about that. On the internet, there is nothing easy. And if the Dice Tower makes any kind of stand on politics, then the people who disagree with that, want to crucify you and you're the worst, etc., etc. But so then if you don't make any stand, people say, well, by making no stand, then you definitely made a stand for the other side. And to that I say balderdash and nonsense. And I defy that when people say that, because that's idiotic. And stop using the same old quote, they came for these people and I said nothing, blah, blah, blah. That's just taking a quote out of context most of the time. But I don't need to make an assessment on every major thing that's happening. And I also don't think that when if I disagree with someone, sometimes it might have nothing to do with politics. In fact, I would argue most of the time when I disagree with people, it has nothing to do with politics. If, say, a random example, if someone came to my convention and, stole 20 of my board games. That has not happened yet. But I found out and caught them, or found out it was somebody, and I banned them from my con. I don't believe that would be considered a political move. I'd be like, that person's a thief. I prefer them not to steal my board games, therefore they can't come to my con. But, yeah, so that's where we're at. I mean, might I say something about politics in the future? I don't plan to. It might pop out. It's not too hard to figure out what I think on some things, obviously. I am a Bible-believing Christian. I am very involved with my church. You can read into things whatever you might want. And you know what? If you ask me on a personal level about something off camera, I might say so. But anything I say on camera is going to be dissected ad nauseum. Anything that we say anywhere is going to be taken apart and picked apart, including the thing I'm saying right now. But if I'm reading the internet correctly, I am both a very hardcore leftist liberal and also a hater, conservative, far right-winger. So I guess I've managed to annoy everybody. But I would like to learn who people are. I would like to get along with people, and I can get along with people who I can highly disagree with politically. I know this because people tell me what they think oftentimes, and I can still have a good gaming time with them because I believe that's what being a Christian is part about, is to get along with others as much as is possible. The Bible says, live peaceably with all men. Now, it says as much as possible. Sometimes you can't. But I get to, I have to consider what those times are. And some of you are like, please, get off the politics. All right, I'm just talking about politics, and that's too much. Will Dice Hour one-shot D&D session ever happen? We've done a couple in the past. I would like to do a couple more. I think that'd be fun to bring someone in and just us play D&D a day. But I want someone who's like a really good dungeon master to do it. And it's not you, person who's just about to email me. Maybe, I don't know. But I think you should offer a Mike DeLisio comic book as a stretch goal for the next Kickstarter. That would be fantastic. During your review of Mosaic, you cracked a joke about no one remembering Assyria. Cracked me up because I am Assyrian. My question is, did you know we still exist? I did not, so thank you for that. Do you like Stargate? It's fine. I never really got into the TV series. I like the movie. And I know the TV series was good. I just never got really into it. Armageddon or Deep Impact? I like Deep Impact so much more. It felt so much more emotional to me. I mean, it's not a very uplifting movie, actually, but I liked it a lot. Have you ever done a top 10 games that get more hate than they deserve? No, but that sounds like a fun one to do. I've never played pickleball. Actually, wait, did I play it on the cruise ship? I think we played it on the cruise ship, but only very briefly. Leonardo Romano says in a review of Keystone, you and Camilla gave the game a 4 while Mike gave it an 8, but for the solo mode, without playing the multiplayer. Do you think it's fair to give the game a seal of approval? Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because if I had reviewed the game by myself and given it a 4 and trashed it, and then Mike had done a separate video saying he really liked the solo experience and gave it a seal of approval, nobody would have said anything. It's the same thing, except we did it in the same video. So, yes. And that's all I'm going to talk about this. Just as a heads up, I'm not going to mention this for like 2 months of Q&As, okay? But anyone here at the Dice Tower can give out a seal of approval, seal of excellence. Doesn't matter. Many times I've done so in the past, you just haven't noticed. I said I really liked the game, and the rest of the Dice Tower studio hated it. I don't care. I talk about the games, and I like them. So I don't see what the problem is with this. I know people are like, but someone might see the seal of approval in a box and buy it and then be disappointed. But someone liked it, and maybe they're like that somebody. And also, that's the point of the review. That's why I don't do numbers on reviews. I didn't want to put numbers on reviews because I knew people would read too much into them. You're reading too much into it. And the people who are most annoyed about this also watch all my reviews anyway. So you've seen the review, so what does it matter? Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Not bringing this up again. It's going to stay that way. Who's in charge of releasing videos to YouTube? It's spread across the team. And how do you handle when you're all away at cons? Spread across the team. But also you can put stuff on YouTube. YouTube allows you to schedule things ahead of time. So, for example, when we're at the retreat next week, we have a few videos going up over the course of that week. They're being scheduled now. Let's see here. Am I going to BGG this year? It's looking very unlikely at this point in time. I know I said that last year and then I went, but it's looking unlikely. Do you go to retreats, conventions with a general idea of games you plan to play, or is it totally open-ended? It's almost always open-ended. I try not to go in with any kind of presupposition. I go in and I go, let's see what happens. Favorite fairy tale related board game? I don't know. There's a lot of good ones out there. But a fairy tale should be turned into a board game? I don't know. Hansel and Gretel? Get the revenge? Oh, that's true. That's true. Going up against Mike in Gloomhaven might work. What are those dice on the shelf behind you? Oh, yeah. These are dice. We talked about these in crowd surfing last week. No one here at the studio likes them except me, but I like them. They're almost like dog toys. I like them a lot. How did that sound? Do you use Goodreads to look for new books? No, but I often go to Goodreads to read reviews on books I've already read because I'm always interested. Have you ever watched any movies from other countries that you enjoy a lot? I don't know how many movies I watch from other countries. I watch some movies from Korea because I like that. But I often watch TV shows from other countries. Like I watched a 2%. That was from, or is it 3%? That's from Brazil, I think. There's that very popular one now where the bank robbers from Spain. I don't mind a show from another country. I think they're interesting. Let's see here. Look up Heists, the Planet's album. I was actually listening to Heists, the Planet on the way in. It came out before Star Wars. It was clearly John Williams' inspiration for most of his movie scores. Most of his movie scores? No. Maybe for Star Wars and a few others, but not for most of his movie scores. No. Heists is fantastic, but it's also just that one series. Let's see here. All brilliant people borrow great ideas from others and improve greatly on them. I think that's true. You know, that's true in board game design. You build on the blocks that you're given. Tom, do you find it hard sometimes to stay super positive and upbeat, and what do you do to deal with this? Sometimes. But you know what? Part of it is because I have a very positive outlook on life and the afterlife. I'm also very blessed. It's hard to be negative. I mean, I live in America. Very blessed to live in America. I have a wife and 7 kids and a grandkid. That's pretty cool, right? I have the best, and I'm not exaggerating here, right? I have the best staff on the planet. My staff here is so fantastic and terrific. And also, it's noon, so I need to end this. So, anyway, it's all good. Folks, I'm sorry that I'm going to buzz out on you here now, but I want to go spend some time with my daughter for her birthday. And we got time tomorrow to get some more stuff done. So I will see you all tomorrow at the table with Eric. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see, and we have other videos going up and stuff, and we have a cool, boring unboxing. It's boring, but there's some cool stuff in it, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, until next time, everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and it's time to go. So I'll see you later.